Hey guys, this is RBR Short Films 13, aka Ryan, and today I am doing an unboxing video for you guys of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. I have many versions of Star Wars. I have the 2011 Blu-ray. I have the old VHS of the original Star Wars trilogy, the 1995, the last release of the unaltered versions of Star Wars, the real versions of Star Wars of the original trilogy. Um, and I also own the special editions on VHS. I own Episode 1 on DVD. I have the OG trilogy on DVD with the unaltered versions. I have the original versions on DVD. Um, and uh, and then now these. And now I have Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and Empire Strikes Back in 4K. Been wanting to pick these up for a long time. I just didn't get around to it, and I also got a lot of them on 4K digital. And it's also because I've owned these movies for years. I even got the digital versions back in 2015, so it's like I've had to get these movies again and again. So I just didn't feel like getting a full 4K box set of all the Star Wars films. Like I'm fine because I own pretty much all of them, almost all of them in 4K digital, and then I own so many copies of the movies on DVD and Blu-ray and VHS. So this is the first time I've owned Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace in 4K and The Empire Strikes Back. These are personally my two favorite Star Wars movies. The Phantom Menace mainly for nostalgia, because this was the first Star Wars movie I saw in the theater, and I was about 3.5. And I remember like it was yesterday. I dressed up as Darth Maul, and I remember the packed theater, 1999. It was amazing. It was, I mean, I was very young, but I remember it. It was just an experience I just could never forget. And seeing Darth Maul and Obi-Wan Kenobi fighting and those lightsaber fights, like I love that. So I didn't quite understand everything that was happening in the movie, but I like loved the lightsaber action, John Williams music, the dual fates. There were a lot of things that I did love about this movie, despite there are flaws in this movie. But I have a, a, I have nostalgia for it, and that's mainly the reason why it's my favorite prequel and my second favorite Star Wars after this. So a lot of it's nostalgia, but I understand the flaws of this movie. But but there's still things I love about this movie to this day. I go back and I watch the lightsaber fight here and there, the Dual Fates fight, because my favorite lightsaber fight of all the movies. And Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars movie, in my opinion. I mean, I think it'll forever be the best Star Wars film. I don't think there'll ever be a Star Wars movie on this level because we still haven't gotten a Star Wars movie that was better than Empire Strikes Back. In my opinion, there's just it does no Star Wars film has surpassed this. And even with the special edition, despite the changes George made to it, it didn't ruin the movie. It doesn't ruin The Empire Strikes Back. It's such a great film. It's such a masterpiece that you it's such a great film, and it's one of my favorite movies. It's the most watched Star Wars movie when I was a kid, and it's the best of the original trilogy. It's the highlight of the original trilogy. I mean, like the greatest middle entry to any trilogy, my opinion, is The Empire Strikes Back. So yeah, those are my two favorites here, and I'm gonna now unbox them. Let's start with The Phantom Menace. And it's totally fine. People can agree, disagree, like about the Phantom Menace. Like I have my complaints about it. So, it's not a masterpiece. It's just it was my childhood. It was my introduction to Star Wars on the big screen, seeing Star Wars movies in the theater, introduction to the prequels, to everything. because I was too young for the special editions when they came out. I was 2. Um, but when I was 3.5 for Phantom Menace, my whole family took me to that one. So, and I love Darth Maul. Darth Maul was a heavily underrated villain. Like I enjoy Darth Maul more than Palpatine, to be honest. I think Darth Maul is heavily underrated, and I honestly was always disappointed that Darth Maul died. He didn't. Now we know he didn't die, but originally, he died in the Phantom Menace, and I just Count Dooku. He just wasn't the same as Darth Maul. Like what I wanted in the prequels of Darth Maul was I wanted them to go into his character per movie, and the opening Revenge of the Sith where Anakin, kills Count Dooku. That would have been cool if it was Darth Maul, because Darth Maul would have been the villain throughout the whole trilogy, and he would have became more and more, of a villain and more powerful. And I think that moment would have been more effective because we barely got to know Count Dooku. But by 2005, when Revenge of the Sith came out, Darth Maul was around since '99. Then there was the expanded universe, books and stuff. So I think that would have been better as if Darth Maul would have made a return in Attack of the Clones, maybe even and he has the robotic legs, and his ultimate goal is just to get revenge on Obi-Wan, and it's like personal. And creative differences. Obviously, George went his own direction, but I would have loved more of Darth Maul. And so, like with Solo, like I love that scene where he has that small cameo with that. I mean, that was an incredible moment, and I hope that we get more Darth Maul live action. I mean, if you're gonna continue Star Wars live action, give us some Darth Maul. Because aside from Darth Vader, Darth Maul is my favorite. All right, let's open this. Comes with a digital code, which is always cool. And then, oh man, that is so epic. All right, so it comes with 2 discs, which is cool. So it comes with the standard Blu-ray 1080p. I assume this would be then it'd be either the new mastered version of Phantom Menace that came out like in 2005 on digital. Like if that's the Blu-ray of this, down to 1080p. I think that's what this is, because I don't know if that would, yeah, this is the 2000, yeah, because it says Dolby Digital. It doesn't say DTS 6.1, which was the Phantom Menace Blu-ray in 2011. It was 6.1 DTS THX. So yeah, it must be different. But this is my favorite image. In fact, when I for my 4th birthday in 1999, this was my birthday cake picture. On my birthday cake was all this right here. And it was just, that was my Star Wars birthday, and it was just, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? A cake of Star Wars? There's Obi-Wan Kenobi. I had an Obi-Wan Kenobi bank as a kid. I had like a little piggy bank, and he would like move around and he put like a little like coin in. I had all the toys. I mean, I had the most merchandise I had as a kid was the Phantom Menace. Attack of the Clones, I had a lot, and Revenge of the Sith, still a lot of toys and stuff. But Phantom Menace was just, what a time that was to be a Star Wars fan, in the late '90s. It was a very exciting time. I don't remember it like I can remember things now, but I remember what I remember, and it was pretty amazing. But yeah, this is the Phantom Menace 4K. I'm really excited to watch it in 4K HDR Blu-ray. I've seen it in 4K digital, but I don't own it in 4K digital. So because I've seen it on Disney Plus, I was watching it with a friend in 4K, and that was cool to see it in 4K. But to own it in 4K digital, it's just so awesome. And now, all right, so now we're on to The Empire Strikes Back, which is, I'm very excited to unbox my favorite Star Wars movie. All right, here we go. The Empire Strikes Back. All right. All right, here we go. It's just so exciting. Empire Strikes Back. I mean, I learned a lot about filmmaking as a filmmaker, nonprofit filmmaker. I learned a lot about movies through Star Wars, and of course all other kinds of movies. But Star Wars, I fell in love with movies a lot because of Star Wars. And a lot of people did, and people still fall in love with movies because of Star Wars. So it's just really really exciting. Um, yeah, I have just memories of Star Wars I always cherish. I'll always be appreciative and grateful I got to experience Star Wars at the time that I did. Um, it was just fun dressing up for Star Wars, like as a kid, like as Obi-Wan or Luke or Anakin or Darth Maul, and just playing outside with your toy lightsabers. It's just prequels. It was definitely a great time to be a Star Wars fan if you were a kid because all the lightsaber action, so you could get all the lightsaber toys and play with your friends, and like that was super super cool. Um, uh, yeah, Empire Strikes Back was always my most watched Star Wars movie. I like that it was dark. I like the dark tone, and the seriousness of it because it was dark and scary to me a little as a kid, but I still enjoyed the thrill of the movie. I was still rooting for the heroes. You're rooting for Leia and Luke, um, and you're just excited for you know what happens next, which is Return of the Jedi. But yeah, it's one of the best cliffhangers to a movie. I mean, just yeah, I could go on and on about Empire Strikes Back for my whole life, how much I love this movie. So it comes with digital code, and then it comes with 2 discs. Well, it's upside down. Okay, so the first disc is 1080p Blu-ray. I would assume of the 4K, lower down to 1080p, and not the 2011 Blu-ray of it. And then of course you have the 4K of it with AT-ATs. I always love that shot, that opening sequence in Empire. That opening battle on Hoth. It's just so epic. You get the last shot of the movie here. I love that. It would have been cool if they had an image of Vader, like at the end, come with me. It is the only way, or something like that. Would have been cool if something of Vader, but we do get this really cool back here of Darth Vader and Luke. That's the moment of the whole series. When Luke and Vader have their first confrontation, their first lightsaber duel. That to me is the highlight of the series. Is that moment. So, yeah, that's my unboxing videos of Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace and Star Wars Episode 5: The Empire Strikes Back. I hope you guys enjoyed my unboxing video of my 2 favorite Star Wars movies. And of course, we all, as Star Wars fans, we all have our favorites, and that's totally fine. Um, I have definitely my own opinions of the Star Wars films as a fan. It's not like we're all gonna love the same movie, the same show, you know. But I miss George Lucas when he was in charge of Star Wars. Like that was really really cool. Um, I just that was his world. So he's like the J.R. Tolkien, like Lord of the Rings. Like he is the Tolkien to Star Wars. Um, but I really really liked Endor season 2. Endor is a great show. That's probably the best Star Wars we've gotten. Anything since the early Disney Star Wars era. Because Force Awakens, Rogue One, I really enjoyed those movies. A lot of people did too. It was such a nice fresh start for Disney with Star Wars when they took over. Because Rogue One, I loved it. I loved it. And for Force Awakens at the time, I loved it. I don't love it anymore. I still really like it, but I don't love it anymore because The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker definitely hurt The Force Awakens. But yeah, the beginning of Disney Star Wars was exciting with Rebels, Star Wars Rebels, Force Awakens, Rogue One. It was like, all right, Star Wars is in good hands. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with The Last Jedi. And that's when everything changed with Star Wars forever. I mean, more than the prequels, I mean, how people reacted to the prequels. Like this, that was worse. Um, so I just hope that Star Wars has more hits than misses, and that whoever's in charge of Star Wars in the future and stuff loves Star Wars, cares about the fans, and cares about just that universe, that world in general, and wants to, keep that galaxy far, far away alive and keep it awesome. So I want Star Wars to always try, new things, but um, but I never want them to go too far. Keep it Star Wars, but definitely take chances, but don't take chances that are like where it completely different from what Star Wars is. Definitely, any next Star Wars movie or show has to give you that feeling that you're watching Star Wars. Um, Regardless if it's, mature, adult themed Star Wars, show or movie, or all audiences, kind of tone themed Star Wars movie or show. It's just long as they stick to what Star Wars is, no matter what they do, differently, then that's what matters. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I know this video is a little too about a month behind from May, because May was the month of Star Wars. I went to the re-release of Revenge of the Sith. That was a lot of fun. But it was fun to do this unboxing video for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and may the Force be with you. And I'll talk to y'all very soon. All right, peace.